everybody doing? Is everybody favorite conservative in New York, Christopher Wright? Here to present you another of my infamous walk and talk videos. What's today's walk and talk going to be about? Well, I had to get my handheld replaced, so the screen's a little bit wobbly, but I'm going to be speaking about today is Dave Chappelle. You guys know Dave Chappelle and what's everything he's been going on with, his recent stand-up he has on Comedy Central, Sticks and Stones. I highly recommend going to see it. I enjoyed it a lot, and it starts off with, pretty much him coming out, and he does a joke where he says, look, he's like, let me do 2 impersonations for you. And when he comes out to these 2 impersonations, he first one does he's talking about the Constitution and, the original founding fathers saying it in words to a slave to, hurry up with the Constitution. His first joke, it's 2 impersonations, right? Then he follows it up and he does another impersonation where he pretty much does impersonation of, he's like, guess who I am? And he's like, and he does it like a thick accent, and he's like, oh, it doesn't matter if it's 10 years, it's 20 years, 30 years, I'm going to come out and I'm going to get you, and I'm going to get you, doesn't matter if it's now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. And he's like, guess who I am? And you hear the audience say, oh, Trump, Trump, Trump. And you hear the guy say Trump, and he's like, no, it's you. It's you who's supposed to be. So I was like, wow. So he really, he really fooled them, but he kind of showed you like their brainwashed mentality, where if they think negative, they automatically go, oh, it's Trump. Oh, it's something you're trying to be. And he's like, no, this is what you guys are doing. This is what you guys are pushing and peddling. So, I'm kind of glad that he put it out there like that. And throughout the whole skit, he talked about not only that, he talked about different things he was trying to do with his comedy, and he was trying to really put it out there in a complex way. And what I got to give him credit for is he played it about as middle as you can. Like he said jokes that he made fun of everybody and everything, man. Like there was like no genders, no races, no nothing that was left unturned during his stand-up, and it was a pretty impressive stand-up, pretty funny. And I got to give Dave Chappelle credit, man. And one joke that really stood out to me was when he said, he was doing the Chappelle show. And as we know, the Chappelle show was very controversial because he was, doing all kinds of impersonations of people, he dressed like a white guy. He, was making fun of different Rick James. He made fun of Prince. He was, he's all over the place, man. He made fun of a little bit of everybody. And when he was doing something where he wanted to say the F word, which is the word that rhymes with maggot, that's, some dude being homosexual. I'm not going to, don't cuss on my YouTube channel, but he was going to do that for one of his shows, and like the owner of the Comedy Central at the time said, no, you can't use that word, you can't use that word. And he's like, all right, that's fine, I won't use the word. And he was about to walk out of the studio, and right when he's about to walk out, he turns around and says, but hold on, wait a minute, one minute. He's like, why can I say that word, the F word? And he said, the owner of Comedy Central, one of the owners said, Dave, come on, like, because you're not gay. And he said, but wait, but I can use the N-word, and that's okay, and I've been using the N-word. And he's like, okay. And he's like, but I'm not an N-word, and the word rhymes with Tigger, you know what I'm talking about. And he said, so why can I use that? So it kind of showed you the double standard that they use over there at Comedy Central. And Dave was pointing it out, man, and I give him credit for doing that. And if you watch his stand-up, man, he talks about so much different stuff, man. And I think, to be honest with you, he was just out there to push the limit, push it as far as you can go. And, and he can say, hey, man, if this is freedom of speech, can I use my freedom of speech? And, comedy to me is dying. It's dying very slowly because it's getting so politically correctness is taking over comedy. And you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't do this. And I grew up on a system, like I said, Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles. Like if I watch Dave Chappelle stand up, it remind me if you put Blazing Saddles and to get, and put that kind of style of comedy out. Because when I saw Blazing Saddles like 5, 6, 7 years ago for the first time, it came out in 1974. It like caught me so off guard because it was hitting you right in the soul, man. Like no political correctness or anything like that. It's like if George Carlin and Blazing Saddles had a baby, it would be Dave Chappelle's most recent stand-up. And it was amazing. It was great to watch, man. And it was such a refresher, such a relief. And you already see the critics coming after him on the critics. All the leftist critics saying, oh, he's a Nazi, oh, he's racist, oh, he's sexist, he's misogynist, he's all these things. But all Dave Chappelle is somebody who speaks truth. When his show was coming out, he was doing things everybody was afraid to do. His show was blowing up. It was the #1, show being viewed out there. And this is about, 2002, 2003 time frame. And back then, we weren't so uptight and we weren't so politically correct where a show like that can come out and be very well, be very successful. But now we're so uptight where we look at a show like that and then we just go, oh my goodness, this is sexist. This is all these things, but they make room for Amy Schumer or Seth Rogen. And people that aren't even that funny, but they just follow the PC narrative. So they let them pass on through because, hey, you're willing to follow the narrative. But if you break off the narrative and just do what comedy's supposed to do, which is like, just be yourself, be funny, man, and let the truth mix in with the comedy, and that's what makes a good joke. That's what makes good comedy going on. And we're starting to fade away from that right now. We're starting to fade away from that way of thinking. We're getting so uptight where it's just like, we're just not allowed to be, Americans anymore. It's funny to do comedy anymore, man. Like, I grew up with the Eddie Murphys back in the day when he was younger. Like I said, the George Carlin, so many different comedians, man. And it's like, we need to get back to that again, man. We need to loosen up as Americans and just relax, have fun, laugh, joke, and keep it moving, man. And this new Dave Chappelle stand-up, I recommend people going out and check it out. It's one of the best ones he's done, and he really, he just really had a good time out there, man. And you can tell there's a lot of people, man, that aren't ready for it, man, that are just, on the left, that just, got offended. But, hey, man, it's good, it's funny. I highly recommend it. Go check it out on HBO. I'm surprised Netflix let it go because, they're pretty uptight themselves. So he must be making them plenty of money for them to just say, hey, go ahead and release this. Because he stepped on a lot of toes, got a lot of liberals, a lot of critics upset on the left. But let the critics get mad because wait till the money comes in. I guarantee this is a top-selling stand-up, if not of he's ever done on Netflix. It's not the top one ever on Netflix because he's not willing to follow that BS narrative that so many people on the left want him to follow. And you see how they try to reject him, they try to embarrass him. And you see how the biggest community after him is the LGBTQ community, in my opinion. And it's so funny to me because he talks about the LGBTQ, and I'm mostly a positive light. He just talks about, like, the transgender. He's a little confused when it comes to the transgenders. And it's kind of interesting what he says about that. And the way he does the joke is very interesting. He has a car, and like everybody from the LGBTQ was in the car except for the Q, queer. And he said they run into one later on the side of the road trying to hitchhike, and it was like this big, huge joke. And he tells it in a way where it's like, come on, man, like, get the man a break. It's all in fun. He doesn't want nobody to get hurt or anything crazy like that. He just, breaks it down in a way, in a comedic format. That's what artistic does. Like, if you're an artist, you just gotta say sometimes a joke that might be making fun of people that you roll with, but it's all in fun, it's all in love, it's all comedy. So that's what he did when it comes to transgender, and he compared it in a way where he's like, hey, it's like somebody Asian and being in my body. And he starts speaking with an Asian accent, like making fun of the Asian accent. And I know people were like, oh my gosh, when they were watching it. But I'm like, he's being honest, man. Like, nobody thinks twice about it when you got a male trapped in a female's body. He's like, wouldn't it be funny if there's an Asian trapped in a black man's body? And people want to say, oh, that's so crazy. But I'm like, but you do it when it comes to gender. So is it really that crazy, or is it just really funny? So you make the choice. But I enjoyed Dave Chappelle's stand-up. He did a great job. Sticks and Stones, the name of it alone says it all. I recommend all my fellow patriots out there go and check it out and support Dave Chappelle, man. He's out here fighting, man. So that's all I gotta say for today's Walk and Talk. Hope everybody enjoyed. Like always, God bless everybody out there listening, and God bless America. Adios.